I am back with Eliana Piers, who just read a sample from Good Duke Gone Wild. And you kind of set it up saying you have a special connection to this story. So I want to start by asking, what is that special connection?
Yeah, of course. There's two things that kind of connect me to this character and to this story. It is about a woman who feels sort of confined in a place and in a role and maybe like a little stunted. So she's tried things and they didn't work, and she's getting criticism from areas that obviously she would rather not have, and that's from her mother. And then she's like, no, I'm tired of this. I'm going to seek out the experiences I want. I'm going to do it. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what sacrifice it takes. I'm going to just go for it. And I relate to her in the aspect that she wants to just go for it, that she's tired of the place she's been. And she's hearing some feedback on her. She's an author, by the way. So she hears feedback on being an author, and she's like, I'm going to do what it takes to be better. So that's where I relate to her. Not in the other areas that I might have mentioned more specifically to her. And then also, I have a special relationship with this because this book had some interesting reception from readers. Some people really liked her, and some people felt that she was aggressive. And I love that because what is more true than a woman coming across as aggressive when she just goes for it? And there's a line, right, where we think as women, okay, is it aggressive because I'm a woman, or is it aggressive because as a person that was just aggressive? So that I really find such an interesting like real world experience.
Oh, yeah, that is interesting. It is
Yeah.
hard when heroines that we write are. I've had the experience where I write a heroine, I'm not aware that she's unlikable. And
Yeah.
then my readers let me know, and I'm like, oh, poor thing.
Yeah.
So there was a line in Agatha's point of view where she said something about how she wanted to get real world experience for her writing.
Yeah.
So do you think it's necessary to have real world experience in order to write?
That is a really great question. I think we tend to write what we know, and yet we're writing historical romance. So like what do we know about historical romance, right? But we still tend to write what we've experienced because we have the closest emotional ties to it, the closest like intellectual processing of that experience. So that just tends to come in, I think, at least for me, into writing. But I would say that you don't need to experience something to write about it. You just tend to include like the way you've processed through feelings or the way you've processed through thoughts and decisions and everything. And so that kind of comes into play.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
related to that line because I started writing novels when I was 12. And so there was a lot of my parents were very supportive of me, so I was like writing these full novels and like taking them,
Yeah.
to teachers and stuff. But there was this this sense of like, well, I have to wait to be an adult to actually be
Mm.
able to write something that will resonate with other people because I don't know what life is. And I do think as I've grown, there's just more nuance to my writing. It's not just these
Yeah.
fantasies that I have.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. When you go through life and you come out the other side of an experience or the other side of an event in life, it totally shifts your perspective. You hopefully feel like you've gained some wisdom about something.